From the Sunshine State, this is Tampa Bay's Tan Talk.
Alrighty, Apple will drive you crazy. Plus, your PC hero may not be so paranoid after all. And who wants to live in Google Town? Plus, reviews and more freebies. Stay tuned.
Rocketed from the dying planet Microsoft, raised by a kindly couple in the small town called Wazville, your PC hero grew strong knowing one day he would be the one to fight computer malware and ignorance. In his secret identity of mild-mannered tech reporter Alan Barebi, he fights for truth, justice, and the Jobsian way. And now, the one, the only, your PC hero.
Welcome, everyone, to your PC hero, coming to your rescue every single week. And don't forget to call in at 727-441-3000, 866-826-1340. You can ask us any tech question. We are here for you. Or if you want to just argue with us on one of the points we make during the show. And also, don't forget to go to the website, yourpchero.com, where we put the show notes and links to every episode up on the website. You can even watch us film it on video as well. But the most important thing on the website is the giant question mark on the right-hand side. If you click on there, you can ask us a question via email in case you're too shy to call in. We answer every single question, but only one gets chosen to be the question of the week. But before we get into all that, I absolutely must introduce my partner in crime, the baddest man in technology, who's coming to us this week virtually. So the virtual baddest man in technology, the shogun of technology, Mr. Andre.
Am I the meanest?
Sure enough.
Am I the prettiest?
Sure enough.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Sure enough.
Well, who am I?
Sure enough.
Who am I?
Sure enough.
I can't hear you.
Sure enough.
And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I am coming to you directly from the Big Apple, from New York City. And if I had some funeral music to play for you right now, I would play it.
Oh, boy. And why don't you explain to the lovely people why?
Because the place that I go for my slice of pie, direct to your pizza, to Daddy Green's Pizza, is no more.
Oh, boy.
And Alan, you know what I'm talking about, baby.
I know what you're talking about.
Exactly what I'm talking about.
For those of you out there who don't know what we're talking about, one of the greatest movies ever made, The Last Dragon, the father of Leroy, Bruce Leroy, he owned Daddy Green's Pizza, and it was a real pizza place.
Right, and when I found out that it didn't exist anymore, guess what, Alan?
You cried.
All broken up, baby.
Uh-huh.
I was all broken up.
Oh, that's terrible. And, of course, you're snowed in because you were supposed to be here in person, but the weather in New York, all this global warming is killing you out there, bro.
Yeah, it's like it's 5 degrees out here.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it's like 5 degrees out here.
That's crazy.
Nothing for the Shogun, but, still.
Uh-huh. All right, well, let's get into...
It was free.
All right, well, let's get into the big topics. We got some nice ones. Apple has a big announcement. iOS in the car. Have you heard about this? Their new CarPlay technology?
That's a big announcement? Honestly?
Financially, I think it's a big announcement. I don't know if it's a big announcement to excite most people, but financially, it could be huge, bro.
You know what, bro? I don't get it because I've been able to use my iPhone in my car for years.
Uh-huh.
You know me, I don't have the top of the line stereo.
Right.
You know? I mean, can you say 8-track, baby?
Uh-huh.
8-track?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No rewinding for you, brother.
That's right. No rewinding the DVDs for me.
Uh-huh.
But I'm gonna tell you something. I mean, I've always been able to use my iPhone in my car.
Uh-huh.
And I use USB, right? Like I
right.
USB in my stereo. So this isn't even going to be able to use USB.
Well, but it's doing a little bit more than just playing your sound through the car speakers, okay? First of all, most of the big car manufacturers have already signed up for this thing. I'm sure it's going to be an add-on. It's only going to work with the Lightning cable, which means it's only going to work with an iPhone 5 or greater and the newer iPads. But for those of you out there who don't know what this is all about, it's a dash system for your car that's going to be app enabled so that basically it's going to be connected to your phone, but it's going to be touch screen and basically a simplified iOS system for your car. So that means your mapping app will be on there. You'll be able to touch it and play like Pandora and streaming and all this other kind of stuff without having to go to your phone and look at your phone and everything else. And it'll be on the nice screen of the dashboard display on the cars.
Right, of the Ferrari, Mercedes-Benz, or Volvo, which none of us can afford.
Well, I think they'll sign up some other people. And remember, they always had a little bit of a, that the Apple is for, kind of more classier things. But I think they're going to get a bunch.
Hey, I got class. I got Apple.
Oh, boy. Yeah, you got class from me, bro, because you make fun of me buying everything and then you take all my retreads. That's what happens.
That's what happens. That's right. You use all of your used up stuff.
Right.
So, I mean, to me, this is not like, this is not a great announcement. I'm really not excited about this at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you why. Because the older technology, I can do all of this anyway. So what differentiates the iPhone 5 from the iPhone 4 or the 4S, where I can plug that into the USB port, or better yet, get something that plays through my FM radio and do the same thing?
But again, you're harping on the sound, bro, on the music. You're not talking about having your map up on the dashboard, you know what I mean, as a GPS. You're not talking about having that touch display, bro.
But Apple had all of those problems with their mapping anyway.
Yeah.
So why am I going to rely on something that's going to drive me into the East River?
Uh-huh.
Right?
Well, look.
Why would I care?
I didn't say you had to care, because let's face it, you don't care about most of the stuff anyway. But I'm talking about financially it could be used, because now iOS is going to be used everywhere. And there's going to be a lot of data. I think this is the big key. There's going to be a lot of data that Apple's now going to get their hands on, location-wise. And it could be big financially for them. I'm not saying it's exciting, but it could be big financially for them. And here's the worst part about it, bro. Radio stations, what are they going to say?
Well, let me ask you this question, bro. I mean, what would you being the Jobsian man?
Yeah. Yep.
What do you think Jobs would have thought?
I don't think he would have been this excited. But I think he would have been more excited about the Apple TV than this thing, because he was all about revolutionizing things. This isn't revolutionary. It's a nice, iPhone accessory, but it's not something revolutionary. So I don't think he would have been so thrilled.
Yeah, and it's not for every iPhone either. I mean, you've got to have the 5 or the 5S, right, for this. I mean,
yeah, you got to have the new Lightning connector. Yeah.
Yeah, so unless you're going to go out there and you're going to spend that money, and you could do the same stuff with Android. And most, like even you, Alan, with your 1955 Mitsubishi that you got, you still got all this functionality already in there.
Well, here's the one thing that is a differentiator here, and it's the same thing that they say is going to put this theoretical Apple TV on the map, the real TV, is the Siri integration, which, I've used Siri, and, it was amusing at times, but a lot of time it's very frustrating, But if they ever perfected it, then you could be driving in your car, and you could tell the radio, all right, tell me how to get to, to blah, 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 blah street without having to touch anything. And if it actually works the way it's supposed to work, that could be used. That could be huge.
Right. Well, that's a big question.
Yeah.
Actually works the way that it should work.
Right. There's a million things that Siri needs to be doing anyway. I mean, I've been saying this all along. I mean,
right. So to me, this is not, exciting to the guys that, pee down both legs when Apple comes out with a new announcement.
Right.
But not exciting to people that have stereos in their cars that do this natively anyway.
Well, like I said, I wonder how it's going to affect radio stations. Obviously we have a vested interest in radio stations and having that. I mean, but whether I use this CarPlay or not, internet radio is impacting radio stations anyway. So,
Oh, yeah, and it's going to over time, it's going to become more and more prevalent.
Yeah, well.
And, how they could make a ton of money off of this, Alan?
Uh-huh.
is if the iPhone 5 only tuned in to your PC Hero,
There you go.
the Shogun.
Or had or the boot up screen was Kate Upton.
Or the Shogun.
Right. Oh no. We don't want to scare people away. We don't want to scare people away, bro. All right. Well, let me talk about something that is scaring me, bro. First, we're going to talk about something that we kind of knew anyway, and I believe you brought this to my attention, and that is Google Plus. Google Plus is that social network that Google has created. I don't think anybody's really using it. It's never really gotten off the ground well. Half the people don't even know what the heck it does and what it's about or anything else. It's very, very, very confusing. Well,
you know what, bro? I'm getting more and more people inviting me to Google Plus, so I think people are starting to get it.
I think that's automated, bro. I don't think it's people actually inviting. I think it's automated.
No, I'm getting them from friends. You know,
all right.
3 or 4 that I actually have invited me.
Right, you know? the virtual friends. Right.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, Google admitted last week that Google Plus is really just a marketing tool to gather more of your data. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah, they actually admitted that.
Shocker.
Yeah.
We're shocked, right?
I'm shocked that they admitted it. Actually, I am very shocked that they admitted it. You know, I'm not shocked that it's happening because we knew that's all they care about is your data. I'm shocked that they actually admitted it.
That's right.
And that's scary how much our data is so valuable to all these companies that everybody and their mother is trying to get our data.
But Google has it.
They have it already, but now they want everything, bro. They want it all.
Well, they got it all, baby.
Well, they don't have the social part of the equation. Now, here's where you tell me I'm paranoid, but I want you to put the pieces together here, right? They do this Google Plus to create a social network because they want to get your social information, like Facebook has. You know, what you like, where you like to go, what you like to do. You know, who your friends are, what they like, what they want to do. Okay, they don't have any of that in your Gmail or your Google searches. It's not the same. It's a big piece of your data of your life that's missing. Then they bought. Hold on. Then they bought Nest. Remember, they bought Nest a while back.
Yeah.
And I told you now they want to get the freaking data that's in your house. You know, because what's the temperature in your house? What's going on? You know, what time are you in the house? What time are you leaving the house? All this kind of stuff. Now I'm not so crazy, am I? This is Big Brother here.
Look, let me tell you something. The only thing that Facebook has is what my grandmother likes. Okay. That's what Facebook talks about because they got all the over 40 people that are the only people that are still on there that think that anything on Facebook is relevant.
I think you're underestimating the amount of data Facebook has that believe me, Google would love to get their hands on it, bro.
They may have it, but how relevant is that data?
Apparently it is. To some of these people who are spending money on just data alone, this is valuable.
Yeah, but I mean, I honestly don't see how you could think that that's always going to be a bad thing. I mean, a lot of people sit there and say, well, the targeted ads and all that stuff. But you know what? 90% of what I buy, and I'm sure, Alan, what you buy, comes from ads that are targeted towards you that are relevant to things that you want to have.
But, bro, it's not about the ads, okay? It's not about the ads. I mean, I'm sure Google is saying it's about the ads. But again, it's the fact that one company is predominantly going to control the information that you're getting, and then they're going to be able to tailor that information based on what you like or even dislike. It's freaky, scary stuff, bro. Now with net neutrality going away, which we'll talk about later on in the show, it's not as innocent as you think it is, bro.
Oh, I'm not saying it is at all, but I'm saying that I've never gotten something from Google that was not tailored to something that I wanted to know about or wanted to have in terms of information. I mean, everything that I've ever gotten from Google has been relatively relevant to what I'm looking for.
All right, well, let me give you a hypothetical, then we'll move on to the next topic. Let's say Google's founders and the guys in charge of Google have the opposite political beliefs you do, okay? Right. Or let's say, you're a God believer. Let's say they're all atheists, okay? And now all of a sudden, all of your searches are adjusted slightly more to what they want you to see. They want you to read instead of what you want to read, and because they know who you are, they know what you like, they know what you believe, and they don't like it. So now that first page all of a sudden now starts talking about believing in God being stupid or stuff like that in the first search results. But let's face it, 99% of people only look at that first page. It's that power. I'm not saying they're going to do it, but it's that power and knowing us better than we know ourselves that freaks me out a little bit.
Don't you think that if they did something like that, though, they would make themselves irrelevant?
How would they know? How would anyone know? They dominate the search. No one that does anything except Google it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, but you have your belief system. You know what you believe in.
But you wouldn't know because the searches you do this thing are those searches.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Are you trying to say that it would be more of a subliminal?
I'm saying it's what's in front of your eyes is going to be more what they would want you to see than what you want to see.
So it's subliminal.
Not necessarily subliminal, but maybe partly, but not really subliminal. Just even the ads on the Gmail, even the ads on the site. Look, Facebook could do the same thing with their sponsored stories. All of a sudden, Obama haters are seeing Obama, excuse makers stories on their Facebook page when they don't want to see it and try to hide it, or vice versa. It could be the same thing. Obama lovers now seeing Obama hating stories and so on and so forth. That data is powerful. There's a reason why companies are spending billions of dollars to get their hands on that information, and why the government with the NSA wants that information. It isn't just about hunting down terrorists. Believe me, it's more than that. It really is. It's more than that.
I agree with you. No, I totally agree with you on that perspective. But to me, I think it's more linked towards money. I think it's more about selling. I think it's not really as much about political views or trying to change people's opinion or the way they vote or anything. I mean, obviously that would be relevant to somebody, that's running for an office or whatever. But I think from the perspective of, Google, it's more about, how can we tap more into the conscientiousness of people and figure out how we can sell them more things that they want to buy.
I hope that's it. And this is why I always I trust Apple and Microsoft more than I ever trusted Google, because I always felt with them, it really is only about the money. It's more blatant, you know what I mean? With Google and the fact that data is their driving force, and that, look, their founders make no qualms about the fact that they have certain political beliefs and they will fight for those personal political beliefs, where you never heard a political word out of Jobs or even, Bill Gates until he left the company, because he was selling Microsoft to everybody. Right wing, left wing, middle wing, he doesn't care. Same thing with Jobs. It's scary. It is scary. And I'll tell you who else is scary right now. Who's scared of Google? You heard about Google Town? Bro, have you heard about Google Town?
I am looking at Google Town right now.
For those of you out there who think I'm talking crazy, all right? Google's headquarters is in Mountain View, California, okay? And basically, they've taken over that whole freaking city, okay? They've got about 10% of the workforce works there. They own about 10% of the property, and now they're doing an airport. They're doing a whole bunch of different things, and the town is not happy.
Bro, Microsoft owned all of Everett, Washington. It's like you couldn't drive a block in Everett without seeing something that was related to Microsoft.
But here's the difference, bro, is that they're not seeing the financial windfall that being associated with Microsoft was, because the very revenue model for Google, for example, how they make most of their money, Google ads. There's no sales tax on that. Okay, there's no sales tax within the city, so that the more Google is making whatever, that they're generating the revenue that way. Okay, Microsoft, yes. Google, no.
But you don't think that all the people that live around that area are benefiting from being Google employees?
They're benefiting from the job, but for example, right. the quality of life with the traffic has gotten so horrible, and Google doesn't appear to be doing anything about it. Okay, and it's just not as great as people think it is, especially because we've seen it before, bro. Remember when we in New York and Atlantic City had the casinos? Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's going to bring all this money and all the jobs and money. And look at that place. That place is a butthole.
Yeah.
It's a butthole.
And it's minimum wage.
Right,
I mean,
right.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
People are not making enough money to survive there.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just Google's action scare. All right, we got to go to a break. We're a couple minutes behind here. All right. So when we come back from our break, we're going to talk about one thing that Google is doing that is actually very interesting and positive. And, of course, is the free internet dying or dead? Listen later, and we'll tell you.
I used to hate getting cuts because the stinky stuff Mom used hurt worse than the cut. But now my mom uses Caricure Skin Protectant and it doesn't sting at all. Mom says that's because it's a water-based liquid bandage and doesn't have any chemicals. I can even swim in the pool and it doesn't come off. I've seen Dad use it on his running blisters and when he cuts himself shaving. He says he likes that it stops bleeding when he cuts himself. You should tell your mom to get Caricure. It's in the first aid aisle at Kroger. Caricure, healing the way nature intended.
All right, people, you love the show and now you want to help and you want to make some money too. You can come to your PC Heroes Rescue. We are hiring, that's right. We are looking for a salesperson. Part-time hours, full-time income, you cannot beat it. What do you think, Sho?
You can't make money any easier than this. I mean, this is like shooting ducks in a barrel here. All you got to do is come on here, get your dulcet tones on the phone, make a couple of phone calls from us, and the next thing you know, you're going to be rolling in barrels of money.
So if you want to apply for a job here with your PC Hero, all you got to do is go to the website, hit the Contact Us button, and let us take care of the rest. YourPCHero.com, come to our rescue.
Is your computer running slower every day? Tried those speed up your PC scams you saw on TV? Do you just need help but don't know who to call or to trust? Well, Your PC Hero is here to come to your rescue. Contact Your PC Hero by calling 813-793-7462 or emailing us at help@yourpchero.com. That's 813-793-7462 or email at help@yourpchero.com. Your PC Hero to the rescue.
This is Your PC Hero, and everyone who listens to my show knows how much I love the little guy, the cool tech startup, the people who are doing fun things on the internet, even offline businesses that are using the internet to promote their stuff. Well, if you have a business or a cool story that you want to talk about on my show, then give me a call at 813-444-3761. That's 813-4401, and you too can be on Your PC Hero. How exciting is that?
No more excuses. Get your business online and let Your PC Hero come to your rescue with your domain, hosting, and traffic building needs. Your trusted name on the radio is also your only choice for domain registration, website and email hosting, and tools to generate online traffic. Go to yourpchero.biz for more information. That's yourpchero.biz to the rescue of your biz.
Does your business need a website and professional level email, but you do not have the budget for it, or you think you don't? Well, I have the solution for you. KRBWeb.com. That's right, KRBWeb.com. For as low as $6 a month, that's right, $6 a month, you can get website hosting, email with your domain, a free domain name, and it has a built-in website builder so you don't even need a web designer. So get started, get your business on the internet at KRBWeb.com.
Have a question? Call in. Our numbers are 727-441-3000 or toll free 866-826-1340. That's 727-441-3000 or toll free 866-826-1340.
All righty. Sukiyaki Sue, baby. Is she with you, New York, Shogun?
She is, bro. I saw her the other day. You would not believe it.
All right.
Walking down Fifth Avenue, right? Coming down to 43rd Street, and she was right there.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful, brother.
Incredible.
Nice.
It was incredible, bro.
Nice. All right. Well, speaking of sukiyaki and dangerous stuff, we talked about Google and how I'm more afraid than the Shogun is, but then again, the Shogun ain't afraid of anything except maybe his wife. But
and Kate Upton getting struck with old age.
There you go. But well, one thing good that they are doing, and this in the news, is Google is planning a $50 fully customizable smartphone. Okay?
I heard about this.
Yeah. Very, very interesting what they're doing. And there's another company out there that's trying to do the same thing where all the pieces of the phone are modular. You know, think like Legos, guys. Okay? That everything is, you can click into place. So the time comes when you want to get a faster processor, you can just take it apart and snap in a faster one. Snap into pieces. This is kind of like, it feels it's a green way of doing things. And Google is planning something almost as customizable that's going to be $50. What do you think about that, brother?
I think it's a cool concept. But, Alan, you and I know that when it comes to cell phones, it's always about the latest and greatest.
Right.
And irregardless of whether I can add parts to my other phone or whatever, within a year, or actually less than a year, let's say within 3 or 4 months, I'm not going to want that phone anymore. I'm going to want something else. I'm going to want something better. I'm going to want something that's not scratched up, that's not used, and I mean, we've seen the advent of this with a lot of other companies that you and I have looked at that are offering very low cost but high quality looking phones that just aren't really getting any kind of market share.
Well, here's though something that, again, you may not be seeing where the cool part of it is. Like, for example, I know people, and you may be one, I'm not sure, but there are people who really want the physical keyboard. They don't like touchscreen keyboards.
I'm all about that, bro.
I know.
You know me.
So maybe you say, you know what, I would get a Galaxy if it had a physical keyboard. Well, this kind of a situation, you go, you know what, I'm going to get the phone, but I'm going to order the physical keyboard, not the touch keyboard. Or I really use my camera a lot, so I'm going to pay for the better camera, you know what I mean, than the one that comes with it, and it'll be able to be swapped out. Or instead, I don't even use my camera. I want a backup battery in there. That's where I think that the customizability can be pretty great.
What about rotary dial?
Yes, also.
Well, yes, I mean, because you know me, my cell phone, I've got the one from the 70s, that looks like the old military walkie-talkie.
Right.
That still has the rotary dial on there.
Yes, you can order that separately.
I can order that.
You can order that separately, yes. And a cord, and one of those twirly cords, too, just to make you feel at home, bro.
And I want to make sure that you can get the big transceiver that goes in the trunk of your car.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, bro. All good for you.
All good for me.
All right, you see, now I bring up something nice that Google's doing that may be useful, and where you go? Where do you go with this? You see? I can't win for losing with you, brother.
I go to what I know, baby. I go to what I know.
I know.
That's what I know.
All right. Well, let's get off of Google because, they get enough attention on their own. They don't need our help. All right?
Right. And they're probably monitoring us.
Yes. But let me tell you something. I'll tell you what's monitoring us and making me crazy is, we talked about this a little bit last week, how Netflix is now going to pay Comcast some money. They don't say what it is to ensure access to their good internet. I guess they have good internet and internal internet, and they have the crappy stuff that they give the regular people so that their system flows smoothly and is not buffering and whatever. And, on the superficial level, you may look at that and say, all right, well, it's business. Now, that combined with net neutrality being shot down, I'm worried, bro. I'm very worried about the internet.
I am too, and it's really funny because, I was visiting with some family yesterday, and, they're not technical people at all, but we had this very same conversation. And it's becoming very prevalent here in New York already. So it's like New York is like a social experiment for this type of stuff happening to everybody. And I think, we really need to kind of explain to people, what we're talking about here because, there was a period of time when people looked at the phone companies that were doing, the local phone service and everything else in, cities like New York and all that, and said that this would never happen to the phone companies. And it did.
Mm-hmm.
And now this the very same thing that happened that nobody ever thought would ever happen with the phone is now starting to happen with the internet.
Yep.
And
right.
It comes from people's greed and really wanted to figure out how do I make money on this.
And here's the thing, you know what? And here's the thing that makes me crazy. All right, the internet in this day and age, it's not like music. Okay, music is a luxury. The internet is a utility. Okay, it's just like water and electricity. You can't really exist properly without the internet. Okay, and sure. There's some hermit that can live without electricity too. But we're talking about the average person who wants to be able to survive in this world. They need internet, okay? It's no longer a luxury, all right? And you know me, I'm the big, small government guy, whatever. But something has to happen here because, there is zero competition when it comes to your internet provider. Zero. I mean, they'll have Verizon and Bright House. But let's face it, they're pretty much keeping their prices close to each other, whatever. It's not true competition. And forget about mobile. Because even though you have all these smaller mobile companies, they're using Verizon, AT&T's networks, maybe T-Mobile and Sprint too, but they're not as big right now. So they're, and we're supposed to be America, man, and we got slower wireless speeds, let's say, on your cell phone than anywhere else in the world, man. We're paying more for slower speeds. In Germany,
right,
you can switch, carriers so easily, and in Germany, T-Mobile, they pay like $1 per megabit of speed, and here is like 4 or 5 times that much. It's insane, bro. Insane that this is happening here.
Do this, Alan. What do you think? Because obviously, this is supposed to be a free enterprise country.
Yeah, supposed to be.
It should be competitive. And everything else, but, here we've got, countries like Europe. My brother was just in China, and, he was telling me how amazingly different the internet and bandwidth and everything else are dealt with in a country that, for a long time was considered like, third world.
Uh-huh.
And it's like you look at that now and you look at what's going on here. And, do you think it's because we've regulated ourselves into a point where it's just not worth being competitive with the rest of the world anymore because people care so much about living in the United States that they're willing to put up with slow bandwidth? Or do you just think that there's no competition within the companies anymore?
There is no competition. It's consolidation that we've allowed these basically monopolies to happen with no competition. We help them out laying all their pipe and everything else in the city. Like, perfect example, bro. You remember back in the 80s, public access, right?
Oh, yeah.
That was a deal. That Time Warner would come in here and they would be able to, provide cable, but they had to provide a few channels for the public access. And of course, they weasel out of that too.
Right.
That's what they do. And who's going to stop them? Instead of saying, you know what, we own the land where the pipes are on, okay? So we're going to let anybody, any business, use those cable pipes that are laid down there. Not just you, but they don't do that.
Right.
They don't do it. Whether it's bribery, whether it's whatever, we have a monopoly situation. And like I said, other countries are killing us in speed, and there's no excuse for that. None.
Right. And, the funny thing about it is that they're not bound by contracts. They're not tied into one specific carrier for like 2-3 years. All the phones are unlocked. You get the phone you want. You pay for the bandwidth you want. If you don't like that, within a year, you go switch to somebody else. It's like here to get a good price and get a deal. It's like you almost have to sit there and say, I'm willing to prostitute myself to this company for the next 3 years. Let them take all of my money and get very inferior service.
Mm-hmm.
Just because there's no other option there.
And let me tell you something. They use the same old baloney about trying to limit your data. Because I remember I'm grandfathered in on AT&T with unlimited data. But they're using every excuse under the sun to get rid of that. Saying that, there's a bottleneck. And you know what? Even the guy who invented the cell phone, okay, says it's a bunch of crap. That there is no phenomena about we're bottlenecking the wireless waves. It's a bunch of horse baloney. And here's a perfect example. The cable companies bought a whole bunch of spectrum in 2006, wireless spectrum. And they didn't touch it. They didn't use it.
No.
Okay? And then they flip it to who? To Verizon. Okay?
Right.
It's unbelievable. Now they own the air. I mean, the country should own the airwaves. All right? If they said, you know what, everybody could use all these airwaves, I don't care what company you are, all of a sudden you'd see 10 phone companies come in there and the prices would plummet and the speeds would go up. This is why Google's doing their Google Fiber, bro.
No, I mean, it absolutely makes complete sense what you're saying there. I mean, it is. It's utterly ridiculous. And, I mean, people say only in America for this kind of stuff, because the rest of the world's not even thinking this way.
Now, the question is becoming what's going to be able to solve this thing. I know Google is scared out of their mind because they think once Verizon and net neutrality goes away, once Verizon and Comcast and, the few, internet providers that are out there have control over the internet that's coming into their pipes, Google thinks they're going to be either screwed or they're going to have to pay these guys the same kind of bribe Netflix is doing so that Google results don't get watered down in favor of Verizon's search results or Bright House's search results.
And you know what? They're 100% right, because here's another Shogun prophecy.
Oh, boy.
That's going to happen.
Uh-huh.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen sooner than you think, and I'm going to tell you exactly why.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same exact thing that happened with the phone companies, where you had all these guys, like here in New York, that bought that last mile of cable into every facility here. And if you want to get through that byway, you've got to pay that toll to use their facility to get in anybody. So it doesn't matter whether you're Time Warner, or you're Comcast, or you're Verizon, or any of these other companies, you're going to pay them for that mile. And it may not be as good a quality as you would have. It may not be at a cost price that you would have, but you're paying it anyway. And that's what's going to happen with the internet, because bandwidth is going to dry up too. Do you remember back in the old days, bro, when they had pirate radio?
I remember.
You remember why they had pirate radio?
Why don't you enlighten us, my brother?
Because it was the same exact reason. You had a bunch of people that bought up every single frequency that was out there and said, we're not going to let anybody play this music unless they're paying the artist royalties, the stations are paying per song, they're paying for the advertising and everything else. And these guys said, we're not going to do that. So they bought these old ships, they put them out there in the water, in international waters, and they broadcast it over here. And I'm going to tell you, the same thing's going to start happening with the internet. You already see it with Google. Why do you think Google is doing this thing with the balloons, bro?
Oh, I know.
The 10th and third world countries, I can promise you that before it's all over with, Google will be a bandwidth provider.
Well, they already are in a bunch of cities, and now originally it was only going to be Kansas City, and now they said another 15 or 20 cities they're going to start laying some Google Fiber down.
Right.
Because they have, it's almost like self-defense. They're going to have to do it.
Right.
You know?
That's right, bro.
It's scary stuff, and like people don't realize, these little steps in the beginning, they're signs of future plans, and you got to watch out for it. And to me, it's this big media, because let's face it, back in the day, you had NBC, CBS, and ABC, and that was it. Okay, they pretty much controlled everything on TV, for an example. And now anybody on the internet can really compete with any big media company, all right? And it scares them. And they're trying to do something through regulation and or through these artificial barriers so that they can get their power back. That's all it is.
That's how they squash you.
That's exactly how they squash you, and we're letting it happen. You know what? all these political people out there, it doesn't matter who's in charge. If it's a right-wing president, left-wing president, they're still letting this crap happen. Okay?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They're letting this happen because these are the guys that are paying their campaign finance stuff. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly why. That's where all the money is.
Mm-hmm. So if you care about having a free internet, if you care about having the results that you want, not what the provider wants you to have, okay? Or if you don't want to have to click through ads before you can even start searching on the internet, which is going to happen. AT&T has a new sponsored data program, okay, that is going to let some of your let you deliver content to your device that don't count against your data caps, okay? This is another example of net neutrality that's being taken away. If you don't, I'm telling you, people, this is scary stuff. I can't harp on it enough.
No, and it's going to get worse.
It's going to get worse.
If you want to stick your head in the dirt like an ostrich and pretend that it's not happening and let it pass you by, I'm telling you, there's enough historical stuff that's happened with telecommunications and everything else that you know beyond the shadow of a doubt it's coming.
I hear you.
You know,
right.
I don't know what we're going to do to stop it.
All right. Well, when we come back from our break, we'll get back to the fun stuff. We're going to talk about our listener email of the week. We're going to have a review. And, of course, our freebie choices. So stay tuned.
I used to hate getting cuts because the stinky stuff Mom used hurt worse than the cut. But now my mom uses Caricure Skin Protectant and it doesn't sting at all. Mom says that's because it's a water-based liquid bandage and doesn't have any chemicals. I can even swim in the pool and it doesn't come off. I've seen Dad use it on his running blisters and when he cuts himself shaving. He says he likes that it stops bleeding when he cuts himself. You should tell your mom to get Caricure. It's in the first aid aisle at Kroger. Caricure, healing the way nature intended.
All right, people, you love the show and now you want to help and you want to make some money too. You can come to your PC Heroes Rescue. We are hiring, that's right. We are looking for a salesperson. Part-time hours, full-time income, you cannot beat it. What do you think, Show?
You can't make money any easier than this. I mean, this is like shooting ducks in a barrel here. All you got to do is come on here, get your dulcet tones on the phone, make a couple of phone calls from us, and the next thing you know, you're going to be rolling in barrels of money.
So if you want to apply for a job here with your PC Hero, all you got to do is go to the website, hit the Contact Us button, and let us take care of the rest. YourPCHero.com, come to our rescue.
Is your computer running slower every day? Tried those speed up your PC scams you saw on TV? Do you just need help but don't know who to call or to trust? Well, Your PC Hero is here to come to your rescue. Contact Your PC Hero by calling 813-793-7462 or emailing us at help@yourpchero.com. That's 813-793-7462 or email at help@yourpchero.com. Your PC Hero to the rescue.
This is Your PC Hero, and everyone who listens to my show knows how much I love the little guy, the cool tech startup, the people who are doing fun things on the internet, even offline businesses that are using the internet to promote their stuff. Well, if you have a business or a cool story that you want to talk about on my show, then give me a call at 813-444-3761. That's 813-4401, and you too can be on Your PC Hero. How exciting is that?
No more excuses. Get your business online and let Your PC Hero come to your rescue with your domain, hosting, and traffic building needs. Your trusted name on the radio is also your only choice for domain registration, website and email hosting, and tools to generate online traffic. Go to yourpchero.biz for more information. That's yourpchero.biz to the rescue of your biz.
Does your business need a website and professional level email, but you do not have the budget for it, or you think you don't? Well, I have the solution for you. KRBWeb.com. That's right, KRBWeb.com. For as low as $6 a month, that's right, $6 a month, you can get website hosting, email with your domain, a free domain name, and it has a built-in website builder so you don't even need a web designer. So get started, get your business on the internet at KRBWeb.com.
Have a question? Call in. Our numbers are 727-441-3000 or toll free 727-826-1340. That's 727-441-3000 or toll free 866-826-1340.
I have a lot of experience with the whole computer thing, you know, emails, sending emails, receiving emails, deleting emails. I could go on.
All righty, and speaking of emails, we told you in the beginning of the show, if you go to yourpchero.com, not only will you see links to every single thing that we discussed on the show, including download links for all the freebies, topics that we talk about, there's also a giant question mark on the right-hand side. If you click on that question mark, you can ask us any question, but only one gets chosen to be the question of the week. And this week is a good one, considering what the show is going to talk about later on. And this is from Michael from St. Pete. Where can I get a free version of Photoshop? Shaw, you want to tackle that?
Well, I'll talk about my product, Alan, but you turned me on to where I could get a free version of the entire Creative Suite.
Right.
At one point. I don't know if they're still offering that or not, but
yeah.
Let's go ahead and start with you talking about that.
All right. Well, it's true.
I'll give my recommendation.
All right. Well, first of all, what the show baby is talking about is Adobe, the CS2 version of their suite. They disable the activation servers, which means they're not going to update it. They're not going to check to see if you have the proper license or you bought it or whatever. And they're, I don't know why, but out of the goodness of their heart, they're giving it to you for free. Okay? It's a free download for CS2, Photoshop, Acrobat Pro, Acrobat Standard, InDesign, the whole 9 yards. All right? And you can get it right from Adobe's website. And we'll put the link up on our website too. But if you Google Adobe CS2, it comes up right away. Now, are these good versions?
Full version, by the way.
Yeah.
I think so.
They're not. Look, first of all, if you have a 32-bit operating system on your computer, like Windows 7, they work fine. On the 64-bit, there are some issues with Acrobat in terms of installing that PDF printer, but you can still do 90% of what you need to do. And the Photoshop works great, so I highly recommend that. And later on, the Shogun is going to give you a free software that does almost as good a job as Photoshop anyway, and you don't have to worry about all this nonsense about licensing and everything else. So just stick to the end of the show, Michael, and when we talk about the freebie, the Shogun will come to your rescue. All righty.
Correct, baby.
Show baby, remember last week you reviewed a Sprach Bluetooth speaker?
Yes, I do.
And you loved it, didn't you?
Yeah, it was fantastic, man. I mean, you know, for the price point and for what it does and for the sound quality, it was very, very well made and very, very well done.
Well, I bet you didn't know this, but when we were at CES, the company Sprach, and I hope I'm pronouncing it right, they won a Best in Show award, okay?
Yeah, I'll tell you what Sprach means, too, by the way, because you know me being an international man of everything.
Uh-huh.
I can tell you, and it is German for speak.
Very interesting.
Yes, that's correct.
Well, they were a 2014 honoree, and they sent another Bluetooth device that I've been using, and I got to tell you, I love it as well. And it's the Sprach Conference Mate. Okay, and again, we'll put the link up on the website. But it is a Bluetooth device that, yes, it also plays music from your iPhone and all whatever Bluetooth-enabled phone you have or whatever. But it's really more geared for the phone call, either a conference call or just plain old regular phone call. It's beautiful looking, bro. I mean, really, really nicely designed. It has clearly labeled buttons on top. When a call comes in and you're listening, like let's say the Shogun is rocking out the Sukiyaki Sue song, and a call comes in and you click it, it pauses the song immediately. You can go ahead and do your phone call. As soon as you hang up, boom, the song continues again. Seamlessly.
Yeah, and tell them about the buttons, bro, because they're really not buttons on the top.
No, they're really not. They're just basically each corner has a little picture of what it does. There's a mute button, but it's not a physical button. There's nothing to press. You just tap it, and it works. There is, the volume up and down. There's the answer the call button. It's so basic, so simple, beautiful, really beautiful to look at. This is, to me, really a great, great little device. I couldn't find anything wrong with it. And I've only been using it for a couple of days now, but so far, it beats the Jam Box that I have, which was far more expensive.
Yeah, and what's the price point on it?
The price point on it, I believe, is $119, but I think you can find it a lot, some cheaper on Amazon, and we'll put all the links, not only the product description, but also where you can buy it too. But really nice.
At $119, it's definitely well worth the price.
It really is. It really, really is. And like I said, if you just want to have something on your desk so that you can answer the phone with Bluetooth and listen to your music, and it's all wireless, I highly recommend that you get it. Really, I can't find anything wrong with it. The Conference Mate from Sprach. So there's 2 in a row, baby, that these guys are kicking butt.
They're a great company.
Yeah.
They're an awesome company.
We're going to have to get them on. All righty. Now we come to the stuff that doesn't cost $119. The stuff that's absolutely free every week. The Shogun and I pick a freebie choice of the week, and it's really free. Something very cool, full-featured, doesn't cost you anything, which, of course, in these trying economic times is very important. Show, baby.
Unless you want to pay us $119.
That's always an option, and you can go ahead and pay us anytime you want. But
because we will take your money.
That's right. We absolutely will. And Show, we had a question of the week that said about Photoshop, and you have an alternative. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it, bro?
Right. It is a product called GIMP. GIMP. You can find it on GIMP.org. It's been around for a long time. It's one of these products like, Kingsoft and OpenOffice that continues to evolve and get better.
Uh-huh.
It's a full-fledged program that does all the things that Photoshop does, and then some. And some of the things it does better, some of the things not so much. They really haven't done a lot to make it look much different than, say, Photoshop 7. But feature-wise, for what you're paying for and what you want to do with, Photoshop, which, Alan, how much is Photoshop?
Well, now they don't have the disc anymore. Now it's a subscription. Yeah, it's a subscription now, but yeah.
Right.
It ain't cheap.
Forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you may as well slit a vein and bleed out for the rest of your life and pay Photoshop. Or you can get GIMP for free. Like I said, they're constantly upgrading it. It does everything Photoshop does, and then some. Looks just like Photoshop. If you have experience with Photoshop, very easy to use. They have a Windows downloader. They've got one for the Mac OS. And, it works seamlessly, works great, does everything you need it to do. And the price is awesome because you know why?
Tell me why.
Oh, no.
Tell me why, baby.
Because it's free, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been a big proponent of it. I know that a lot of the magazines talk about GIMP. I wish they would offer, if there's one thing that I would say that would put them over the top and really help, make a scare into Photoshop, is more GUI options, more themes to make it look a little bit more like the newer Photoshop, or maybe a little bit cleaner. Because, like you said, the interface is kind of old looking, but it is very, very powerful.
Yeah, they haven't upgraded the interface since like Photoshop 7.
Right.
So it still looks like Photoshop 7, but it does do everything. It's got great filters, great gradients and everything else. So there's not too much less than what you do with Photoshop with that. So.
Beautiful. GIMP. Okay, and then again, we'll put the website up where you can download it and install it. GIMP, I believe it's GIMP.org, but...
Yeah, it's .org.
Yep. All right, beautiful. All right, well, mine is the one I found recently, and, bro, you are going to love this. This is great for a lot of people who get these computers with a lot of bloatware on it, or they've used it and now they have a lot of, spyware and stuff like that. And it's a program. It's called Should I Remove It? And it cleans and removes unwanted PC programs. You run it, and instead of just being an uninstaller where you just check what you want to remove, it actually gives you ratings and a removal percentage, which if it's red means, yeah, you want to get rid of that. It's a bad program. So, because a lot of people say, well, I don't know if I need this, or I don't know if I'm supposed to remove this. I don't know if this program is good or not. This tells you. It actually tells you what's unwanted and what is really needed.
Yeah, because you used to recommend PC Decrapifier, which was the one that I used before, but you really had to know.
Right. You had to choose which ones to remove. Right. It didn't tell you remove this. You had to choose it. This one actually tells you which one is bad, and you just go ahead and remove it. And you know what the best thing? 100% free forever.
Yeah, and that was the thing about like PC Decrapifier. It would tell you to remove stuff, and you didn't legitimately know if that was something you had to remove or not.
Right.
Honestly.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, this is really great.
Well, I'm going to try this out.
Yeah, you got to try it out. And, of course, it's like a perfect example, like these coupon printing programs. They tell you, oh, yeah, you must remove it because I can't tell you how many computers I clean with those stupid coupon printers. This is such a bad program. Bad program.
People are downloading them, I guess.
All right. Well, bro, not bad for Virtual Shogun, baby.
That's it, baby. I'm right here in the middle of NYC.
We miss you. We'll see you next week, brother.
Yes, I will be back. I'm hoping that my plane makes it out of here tomorrow. If it doesn't snow tonight, I will be back in the studio on Monday of next week with a great new exciting show.
All right, baby. We're out.
WTAN, Clearwater, Tampa Bay. WDCF, Dade City, Tampa Bay. WZHR, Zephyr Hills, Tampa Bay. Listen,